Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in for another video. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and address this, and I wrote it down so I can somewhat quote it correctly. Now, we back on this Diddy thing. I said I was gonna stay away from it, but it just keeps getting more absurd. It's just crazy, right? Now, what I notice is a lot of these celebrities are either quiet or they are denying that they witnessed anything from Diddy, right? So I just saw a headline on the blog where Ray J stated that, let me read this correctly. He stated that he is in complete shock. He didn't know anything about Diddy's dark side, and he's shocked just like the rest of us. Basically, there was no indication of a dark side or anything like that. Ray J, I'm gonna need you to stop thinking that we boo-boo the fool. Ray J, how old are you? About 40, 42, 43, 38, whatever you are. Ray J, you've been in the industry since you were little with your sister Brandy, who's been in there since she was about 10, 11, or 12 on Thea, and came out when she was 15. Okay. You was all up in the videos. You've been in the industry just as long as her. You've been around Whitney Houston, and it's funny how you've been around all of these people, and they end up, we still side-eyeing you about Whitney Houston, cause you and your sister, now I love me some Brandy, okay? But that does not make me blind to seeing certain things, okay? Now, Brandy, we know that Whitney Houston passed you that note before she passed away. And it's up to you to decide if you want to share that with the public or not, or we. But at the same time, it would help to clear little things up if you kind of share what was in that note. That's just me. That's my opinion. Some of y'all might not agree. But if she passed you a note specifically right before she passed, child, anyways, so you've been in this industry for a long time. There have been people in the industry, Tierra Marie, music-wise, I would say, who kind of have hung with Ray J or been passed to him, I guess, I don't know, for mentorship or something like that I've read in the past. And then they kind of flow through Diddy, or they come to Diddy and Diddy kind of flows them to Ray J. Like, what kind of, allegedly, Ray J. Now, before Princess Love, and probably during Princess Love, and after Princess Love, your ex-wife, you have been to parties. You've been in the industry. You set tripping. You represent Cali, right? Even though y'all from Mississippi or Alabama, but I guess y'all grew up in Cali or whatever. You cool with Whack 100, all this kind of stuff. Y'all be behind the scenes. Y'all know what be going on. Why we gonna act like we don't know? So my thing is, I feel like with him and a lot of these celebrities, they either taking that stance because they don't want to be implicated, or they're gonna say, not to my recollection. That's not what I witnessed. You don't want to be implemented in this mess, right? You don't want to, because furthermore, if investigators and law enforcement have done their job and they have confiscated so much from him, Diddy, I'm saying him, his homes and all of this stuff, right? This dude has ties, not only to the melanated community, the black community, but outside of that. I'm talking about billionaires, millionaires, people overseas, CEOs, entertainment, basketball players, athletes, politicians. This dude got something on everybody. And if he recorded everything and everybody, all them people on them tapes. So either they're gonna take the stance, or they've been victims, allegedly, of him, and they just don't want anything to do with it. Either way it goes, Ray J, we not stupid, okay? We not boo-boo the fool. We weren't born last night, at night, but not last night. I guess you're trying to save yourself or whatever it is, but maybe it's time of reckoning. Maybe it's time for the scales to balance, for people to pay for their injustices of what they've done to humanity, and for them to pay for the evil and debauchery and diabolical nature that they've imposed on people. So, I remember at one point in time, what was this, last year before last, he was on live basically outing the Kardashians, and then he kind of came back and act like it wasn't. Then he was on live kind of like, in so many words, I'm trying to say how I can say this on YouTube without saying it, because I don't want them to censor this video. When people want to off themselves, it was like he was on live and pretty much saying, certain things. So I believe there is a lot on your mind. There is a lot that you don't want to say. There is a lot that you've been through. There's a lot that you've done. It probably eats you up inside, but you try to, sometimes it gets to be too much where it's overwhelming. And then you got to put yourself back in place, or they got to put you back in place, either way, right? So, Ray J, I think you just might need to be quiet. That's what I think. Just fade off into the background, Brandy's brother, because this is not going to turn out too good. Now, let's move on forward to Mr. Diddy. And I just read that his lawyer asked to throw out the case with the former model. So a former model had came out like a couple months ago and detailed her experience with Diddy, and basically stated things that happened to her. Like, how are all these people's experiences with him similar? Where there is smoke, there is fire. Stop playing, right? Stop playing. He's asking to throw that out because of statute of limitations, not because it's false. Not because it's defamation of character and, she just want money or whatever it is. It's just statute of limitations. Go and throw that out. So he's trying to X certain things out just because of default of the law. Like, that's why I don't like to talk about this topic, because it kind of upsets me. I just, yeah. Then Kim Porter's book, or supposedly, I think this is an unofficial, they haven't said that this is officially her book, but there have been excerpts coming out, right? And now people are saying over the last day or two that her book is actually out. I haven't looked it up yet, but I have been seeing it on the blogs, and the things that they have been detailing that she actually went through. Whew. And my thing is, it's an interesting situation to be in when you are the child of someone who is just a menace to society. On one hand, you're like, this is my parent. I am their seed. I come from them. By blood, I am supposed to be there for them. I am supposed to, just as they're there for me, I'm supposed to be there for them. We don't know what these children went through. We don't know what he's told them, whatever it is. But I'm going to tell you this. At a certain age, your eyes are open. You're able to see. You can look at the facts. I'm sorry. But if all the facts lead to my father offing my mother, you are an enemy of mine. The womb that I came out of, the person that gave birth to me, is no longer here because of you. Per evidence and everything that points to you, we not cool no more. I will probably make it my passion and my purpose to get you put away. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care if you technically my blood, my daddy, or whoever it is. You off my mom, that's a different type of evil. So the legal aspect and the blood aspect of you being related to me goes out the window, because you caring about my mom being here went out the window. So for me, I'm just like, how do these boys, I don't know how the girls feel, the twins, because they really don't speak out. They kind of, I guess they shelter them or cover them. But these boys here, I saw them going out to court, I guess in support. If you there, you supporting them, right? How could you do so? Especially the one whose mother is Kim Porter. Like, how could you even? And I know you old enough and grown enough and been around enough more. I think he about 25 now. You've been around. You read the internet. You see the blogs. You're able to research. How can you be in support of someone who everything points to him possibly allegedly offing your mother? I just can't get with that. And if you okay with that, ain't no telling what you've done behind closed doors with your daddy, allegedly. And you can't be trusted either. That's all I got to say. Tell me y'all thoughts in the comments. Peace.